Very educational tool. Absolutely. I think that provincial, I guess in Canada, provincial governments, they oversee education. I'm doing this trip out of pocket, so my teachers union sets up the trip, but then I pay for it. It's my choice. It would be nice if our teachers unions and governments allowed, at least in Alberta, it would be nice if Alberta teachers could do this on provincial dollar. Because most people won't do it. So I think, there's 4 million people in Alberta. We have, I think we have 100,000 teachers. In this program, there's 14 people doing international exchange this year. And that's because we have to go on our spring break. And I have to pay for it out of pocket. And I can afford to do it. So that's a barrier for most individuals. And I'm learning. It's very good professional development. I'm learning so much. And I'm struggling to learn Espanol as well.
That's great. Álvaro, bajo tu punto de vista, no es la primera observación que haces, más o menos, ¿crees que debería ser una herramienta, o si es realmente una herramienta formativa?
Sí, desde luego. Es increíble poder ir a otros países, poder ver otras culturas, otros sistemas educativos, cómo trabajan. Siempre coges ideas, siempre coges recursos. Y para mí vale mucho más esto que muchas de las asignaturas que salen en las carreras, muchos de los cursos que se hacen aquí en Castilla y León o fuera de Castilla y León, pero bueno, yo creo que es la mejor herramienta formativa que hay.
I think when we talk about education, you talk about like the hidden curriculum a lot. So the intangible things that students learn, so you deliver a curriculum, but it's not so much the curriculum that's important that they learn, it's the process of learning in itself. And what this program really does is enriches your teaching. So it not only gives you invaluable lessons, I mean, even just being in class for one day, the way that instruction is delivered here is much different to the way that I would deliver a curriculum. So there's things that I've seen that now make me a better teacher. And if I wouldn't have gone on the trip, I wouldn't have even known that it existed, right? So you don't know what you don't know until you see what you don't know, right? So we call that in Canada or in English, I guess we call that metacognition. So it's being aware of the things that you still need to learn. And I think that this program really helps enrich my teaching, especially because I've been teaching for almost 15 years now. So I need something new to challenge me. And this, an exchange, not only just being here, but also having Alvaro come in February to my school, I had to totally rethink how my day was. I had to totally rethink what my teaching looked like. And then what I needed to do as well was connect with my colleagues, which if I was in my own little bubble all day, I wouldn't have even thought about it. So it was, okay, so what should Alvaro see? He should see our music program. He should see what happens in our junior high. He should see what happens in our high school. He should see how I teach. He should see something about our culture. I wouldn't have even thought about getting out of my own little bubble or box if he hadn't have come. So it forces me to rethink my day and be more aware of what goes on. And the interesting thing that's happened is I have better relationships with my colleagues, actually, that I probably wouldn't have even had if we hadn't had Alvaro come to begin with, because now it started new conversations at my school, and he enriched the students by coming in their classes, and they asked him about Spain, and he taught them about Spain, and there was other ideas that we had that we just didn't have time to do as well. But the kids were, in a social studies class, like, I mean, you have someone come in from another country and talk about their country, like, I don't know how much better learning that can be. So, but now at my school, we're doing things like cross-curricular field trips. So we have science and an art field trip, and those conversations started because Alvaro was there. So not only was the benefit to him and to myself, but it enriched the school as a whole. And so I think there's so many benefits, but you don't even really know what they are until the whole thing happens. And then the school is better for it after the program's done.
Álvaro, ¿qué beneficios habéis visto en...?
Pues bueno, beneficios hay siempre, ¿no? Hay beneficios directos para los alumnos, pues porque yo mejoro, yo importo ideas y luego yo las pongo en práctica con los chicos. Hay beneficios directos cuando viene, por ejemplo, Travis, habla con ellos, interactúa. Es increíble ver a los chicos cómo se lanzan a hablar con él, cómo se hacen entender, cómo les gusta que les enseñe cosas. Y luego hay beneficios indirectos porque bueno, yo siempre estoy pendiente de sacar fotografías, de coger materiales, cosas nuevas que aquí no podemos acceder, para luego en mis clases a lo largo del año bueno, pues enseñarles diferentes cosas. Yo grabo un montón de vídeos de cosas que me resultan llamativas, que son diferentes, y luego les explico, lo relaciono con los temas que tenemos. O sea que en realidad los alumnos aprenden a lo largo de todo el año, un viaje que es de 10 días, 12 días, pero sacamos beneficio durante todo el año. Por lo tanto, yo creo que más por menos no se puede tener.
I haven't been in the school very long yet, so this might change throughout the week. But the one thing that we had a conversation about this morning was the amount of collaboration that happens within the European Union is insane. So that is totally foreign to most Canadian teachers. So yesterday morning, his class asked me about Canada, and we got all that out of the way, and they're excited that a new person from another country was here. And then they watched videos from students in physical and health education, and there were students from Serbia, and there were students from Belgium, yeah, and there were students from Portugal, and I think maybe you watched the video from students from Turkey as well. I was trying to keep my head was kind of spinning because I was trying to keep track of it all, but the fact that there's children from 5 or 6 different countries that are actually contributing to his classroom, that is absolutely crazy. Like, and so the amount of collaboration that happens cross-culturally is something that's just absolutely totally foreign to a Canadian classroom. We don't even discuss how education works between provinces in the same country, let alone different countries. I don't even know how I would start to begin to do that in my classroom. The fact that you have this collaboration between vastly different cultures and languages, and then I think everyone's commonly trying to do this in English together. I don't even know where I would start with that. Like, it's just incredible. So I think that's the biggest thing that I've taken from this trip so far. I think it's probably going to be the biggest thing that I have. There's some really interesting things that they were doing in their physical and health education class yesterday that, because of liability, we wouldn't even touch in Canada. So, and it's fundamental movement skills and those types of things. So I'm a track and field coach, and a lot of the stuff that they were doing in phys ed class yesterday, I would do with my athletes for high performance track and field. So from a coaching perspective, a lot of that was super useful. But the collaboration, I don't think you can take what you can do within the European Union for granted. Like, I couldn't even talk to a teacher in British Columbia or Ontario about the same things, let alone like collaborate with videos for common educational practices. It's amazing. So
Álvaro, ¿qué te llevarías, no? ¿Qué te llevas? ¿Qué te has traído o qué destacarías del sistema educativo de Canadá?
Pues bueno, un montón de cosas. A nivel profesional, muchas ideas, muchos recursos, materiales, conversaciones con los compañeros de ahí del colegio que te hacen abrir la mente y te hacen darte cuenta de muchas cosas que a lo mejor aquí no reparas porque siempre estás metido en tu clase y no te das cuenta. Y a nivel personal, pues toda la experiencia que te llevas de otra cultura que es completamente diferente y que te enriquece.
Absolutely invaluable.
Yo no recuerdo qué palabras he dicho otros años, porque como ya participado varias veces, cada año creo que digo una, pero este año me quedaría con aprendizaje integral, en todos los sentidos.